welcome to another session of Spirits and Monsters of Old Seattle. We join our brave group of investigators at Madame Lou's sporting house. There, the four of them, including young Thomas Miller, are sitting around a table in the area of the lounge. Meanwhile, somewhat nervously by the bar, Chung-Hu continues to polish glasses and organize bottles, all the while having small piles of rice set up on the various spots on the bar and several scythes hanging about the room. And he continues to look at Julian, look at the various pieces of hardware, and then look back at Julian, perplexed.
I'm so proud of him.
He has no idea what's going on, but he's trying to help. Thomas looks back and forth between the three of you as you finished explaining everything, and after a moment's pause says, "So, Ingrid is actually Anne, and she's cursed. Do I have it right?"
Yes, you're right on track, exactly.
I hand him a mimosa. You're taking this extremely well.
Anything I can do to help. So what's our next move?
Yeah. So, I think you're going to like this part. It's going to be good. You're going to like this part. So I think what we need to do, let's get you to her. Let's reunite you two kids.
Absolutely, yes.
The other thing that we're going to need you to do, I don't suppose, as you were, thinking about this and you were planning on popping that big question, do you have like a ring or something of that sort?
Well, I believe he already did pop said question because they were actually supposed to get married, so...
Oh, that's right. Right.
He looks like the saddest puppy when you say that.
It's not your fault.
It's okay. We'll get back to that. Don't worry, Thomas.
But you have the ring on you, right?
Yes, of course.
Oh.
Outstanding.
Blessings.
So it might get a little weird, just a little weird, but you're going to be great. And we just need you to speak from your heart. Tell her that you want to be with her. It's all been just a bit of a misunderstanding. Some outside interference we don't need to worry about, but just speak from your heart. Tell her how you feel. Tell me, how do you feel, Thomas?
A little overwhelmed, but I'm here for Anne. That's what I'm here for.
Okay, pretend I'm Anne. What would you say to me?
And he takes your hands very dramatically.
Good start.
Anne, I'm so sorry about everything that's happened, and I want to marry you.
Yes, Thomas, that would make me that... So, yes, that's exactly perfect. Speak from your heart. You're going to be great.
Chung-Hu rolls his eyes so hard you're worried his retinas are going to detach.
Like it's the first time you've seen someone propose to me, Chung-Hu. Don't act like that.
And I've seen what happens to people who do.
Well, I mean...
Disappointment.
It's hardly my fault for... We will continue this conversation another time. I appreciate all the sides. Well done, my friend.
Okay, so, we're gonna go. I'm gonna propose to Anne. I've got it. I can do it. Where is Anne? Where do I go?
Well, we'll just need to take a little trip for that. Hopefully you won't mind taking a little ferry ride?
Where are we going?
She's currently,
in Olalla.
recovering, yes, in a health, no.
Resort.
Scratch that. Resort? A health resort.
Health
Yes.
resort.
Exactly.
Got it.
A bit of a
got
respite, if you will.
Do we need help getting a captain to take us there?
Yes, if you have some sort of connections, that would be ideal.
My father has done shipping between here and San Francisco for years, and all of the captains know him. I know a guy who can get us there.
Fantastic. Let's be on our way.
To the docks, then.
Don't you two think we're not preparing the lad fully for this encounter?
That's a very good point. Chung-Hu, I'm going to need a bottle of our strongest whiskey, please.
Also, Doctor, I have to point out that you were quite well prepared, and I'm not sure if that really prepared you.
That's
In
my
fairness, you
point
did
exactly.
literally jump him in the previous mystery.
But that is exactly my point. We should prepare this lad for what he's about to face.
We'll have some time on the boat. Let's just let's take it one step at a time.
Now, Phoenix, are you actually trying to get a spare thing of liquor while you're here?
I think I would. Yes, please.
Can you give me a manipulation test with a +2 bonus?
I would love to do that. That is going to be...
You can also take a +1 because I believe your resources are a 4.
Oh, okay.
So +3 total.
So +3 total, so that's going to be 12 dice. All right.
Did you really need to let him roll those dice twice in one go?
I did.
All of
I
them?
gotta have him get all the good rolls out nice and early.
Well, you're
liquor.
doing a great job of it, Brian. Once again, let me tell you how much I love these dice you have gifted me. I did not get 4 successes this time. I got 5.
Of course, Chung-Hu has alcohol for you. Would you prefer liquor or fine wines?
Why not both, my friend?
You know, at 5 successes, yeah, you can have both. Feel free to add liquor and fine wines.
All right.
5 successes.
Thank you, my friend.
All right. Chung-Hu manages to grab a couple of bottles for you of some of your favorites, sending you off with some of the finest champagne and some of the best whiskey and bourbon they have.
Jack and Daniel, you shouldn't have. And yes, I realize there is better bourbon out there.
The 4 of you make your way down to the docks. Now, armed with liquor, the 4 of you head out into the stink fog. It has taken a little bit to get down from Cap Hill, and a little longer to get out to the docks, so we're getting towards the late afternoon. Perhaps unsurprisingly, the Seattle waterfront is quite full of boats at the moment that are all moored, as none of them are really looking to go sailing during this dangerous fog.
So weird.
Who could believe? However, young Thomas winds his way through until he spots a small ship that looks like it would be part of the Mosquito Fleet and is called the Virginia. After a quick shout, a captain kind of pokes his head out and introduces himself as Nelse Hinston. After a quick back and forth between the two of them, where Thomas reminds Niels of all the times that his father has helped him out, Niels kind of grudgingly looks towards the lot of you and says, "So you're looking to go down to Olalla, is it?"
Yes, please.
We could definitely travel that way. I normally run between here and Tacoma, but we could certainly make a stop. I want you to know it's going to be slow going, though. The fog, the rocks, it's going to take some time to get you there. You alright with that?
I mean, we'd be there before, I don't know, say sundown?
Probably not.
Oh. Okay.
Nils is a little hesitant, since you're talking about trying to get there before dark.
And as he hesitates, actually, I think I do want to then turn to the rest of my, specifically to Sofie and Lucius. If we can't get there before sundown, is this even going to work?
Well,
If we can't get him in front of her before she changes, she may not even be there for us to
Well, she'll return there, remember? She'll return there in the morning, so
Well,
he could
sure. After
still
she
catch her.
kills somebody else over at the sporting house. Although I guess I protected them as best as I can.
Yes, but Madame Lu is on high alert, and Chung-Hu, so I don't think that anyone else will be able to be murdered. I'm sure that, she may cause some trouble for them, but
Look, we can't. If we wait longer, it's only going to cause more pain. We need to act quickly and decisively here. Even if she's gone, we can at least be ready for her to return.
I agree.
Well, hopefully she doesn't go to sleep too early then.
Well, perhaps we could. No. I was trying to think of a way, like, we could offer the captain some capital or some manipulation rolls to get him to go faster, but also we don't want to die on the rocks. So maybe we shouldn't try to do that. And then I started thinking about Dredge, and then my brain got sidetracked. Anyway.
Yeah, Captain Nils informs you that as much as he would like to get you there faster, with the weather being what it is, it's going to be slow, careful, smooth sailing.
I understand your caution and I appreciate it, but please do make all haste possible if you can. If it helps, I've got this lovely bottle of champagne.
Thomas kind of like nods and gives you the big thumbs up. And Captain Nils looks between the four of you. I owe this boy's father several debts, so I am more than happy to take you. But I will not destroy my ship for it. We will go, smooth as smugglers, but we will arrive safely in Olalla. Fair enough?
That sounds reasonable, Captain. Thank you.
I don't think we could ask for any more.
Yes, we very much appreciate you taking a detour for us.
He nods and welcomes you all aboard. It's a small steamship. Again, part of the Mosquito fleet, so it's a little passenger vessel. It does have a small cabin on the top, and there is a set of stairs leading down into a hold. And you are all welcomed aboard. Now, I do have an important question for you all. You've been up for a little bit again. You hiked all the way up to Cap Hill, you hiked all the way back down. Now it's going to be a long boat ride. You are all going to be starting to get a little bit tired. Are you going to try and just push through it? Or are you going to sleep on the way over?
I think Julian will attempt to sleep. He's pretty keyed up and nervous and anxious, but at the same time recognizing there's not a whole lot he can do on the boat.
Mm-hmm.
So I think he'll try to get some rest.
Sofie has 99 problems, but she can't remember any of them right now because she had a spa day. So he's definitely gonna take a nap. She doesn't give a shit. Also, though, if we do get there and she's already gone, we can always take a nap at the sanitarium.
We'll see how that
We'll be there
goes.
all night, and she won't be there. I don't know. Anyway,
Dr. Jensen.
We're absolutely going to need our strength for what we're going to face. So if I have the opportunity, I'll take a nap.
Mm-hmm. Fantastic.
why are you so happy about that, Brian? Maybe
worry
I'll
about it.
actually stay up. Maybe
No,
maybe
don't,
I'll
no.
maybe I'll
You already
keep
decided.
watch.
Or are you gonna keep
this.
watch?
I don't. Yeah.
Interesting.
I don't like this.
Don't worry
I
about
don't
it.
like this.
In that case, then, are you all going to take turns keeping watch, or is Sofie just being super paranoid?
I guess has Sofie voiced any concern to the group?
You know what? I'm not going to leave Thomas alone. One of us needs to be with Thomas at all times.
That's fair.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's what I think we should. Yeah, take take a little bit of a
Babysitting
watch
shifts.
just to babysitting shifts exactly.
Okay.
All right. I will take first watch with Thomas so that I can get my beauty sleep afterwards.
Mm-hmm.
I'll take the next one.
I'll go take a nap first.
All right. Could I get a D66 from everybody?
That's a 25 for Julian.
That's a 15 for Thomas.
A 25 for Lucius.
I got a 36.
All right. So, you enact your plan to set watches on Thomas. He's able to stay up for a little while, but eventually he falls asleep on a bunk down in the hold. The rest of you kind of take turns having somebody around, having somebody out, kind of stretching their legs, somebody sleeping. Sofie, can I get an observation roll from you?
That was 1 success on 7 dice.
Fantastic. While Dr. Jensen is on watch, Sofie begins to toss and turn. You were deeply asleep, but suddenly you feel a terrible tightness in your chest. Bill, could I get a vigilance test from Dr. Jensen?
Please succeed.
Let's see. So vigilance.
You just talked about this, Brian, and I already forgot until just now. I'm like, I
appreciate
rolled
it.
high. Ah, fuck.
So vigilance is logic. So I have a 5 there and a 1 on vigilance. So is that 6 dice? But then -2 for my mental
Conditions?
conditions. Am I doing the math right there?
Yeah.
You've
Okay.
asked an English major.
I followed
picked
you,
the
Bill.
wrong
Yes,
person.
you're good.
Okay. Okay.
If those numbers were correct, then yes, you have added them correctly.
Yes,
Okay.
4 dice.
So rolling 4 dice. Sorry. So I'm rolling 4 dice. No successes. I am debating whether I want to push this.
The long drawn out side.
I was just about to ask from the drawn out side.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's been nice playing with you guys. I'll be rolling my new character.
No, I will push the roll.
Now keep in mind, that is a mental roll. If you push that, you will have 3 mental conditions.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe you shouldn't, Bill. I don't know.
He is committed.
He's about to be. We're going to a sanitarium.
Rolled 4 dice. Got 3 5s, but no 6s.
Fantastic.
Thanks for trying.
Dr. Jensen is closely watching. He's got his kind of back to Sofie and Julian and is just kind of scanning around. He's occasionally looking up onto deck to make sure there's nothing going on there. Listening as the steady lap of the water is all around him. And the camera slowly pans over Dr. Jensen's shoulder. And we see Sofie is awake. And there is a form on top of her. She cannot speak. She cannot move. And the air feels like it's being drained away from her lungs. The twisted form of the mare looks down straight at you. And one of its talons curls upwards and snips a little bit of hair from your head. She takes that and suddenly turns to mist. And it's like air can suddenly flow back into your lungs. Can I also get a fear test from Sofie? You do get a +2 bonus because you had allies around you.
And it's an empathy or a wait, what is it?
Logic. Either empathy or logic.
Okay.
Also, Bill, don't feel bad. Don't feel bad. The mare got 3 successes on her stealth check. You were beating that with 4 dice.
I was hoping for 1. I couldn't get that.
Ah.
Sofie, how many successes did you get?
You know what, Brian? I got 0 successes on 7 dice, and because of the way I rolled it, I get to see that 2 of those were 1s even. So that's great.
Is it time for physical dice already?
You know what? Yeah, but it ain't these physical dice. I don't know. Let's see what would happen. 1 success on 6 dice. Hey, look, these can roll 6s.
But only when you don't need them
But
to.
only when I'm not really rolling.
All right, so you take 1 mental condition. Good news, having experienced the mare previously, the fear is not as bad now. So now,
I think she's pissed.
so she gains angry.
Yeah.
She also
She's
is
like,
affected.
it's not even dusk yet. What the hell is this? I don't think I signed up for this. I thought we were supposed to get there and she would just be turning. How is she already here? Dr. Jensen, you were right there.
So
What? This is stereotypical. I'm just in the corner in the room with like a big newspaper. What? You're fine.
Julian rolls a little bit in his slumber, pulls the cucumbers from his eyes. Will you two keep it down?
Next time I'll direct her to sit on your chest. How about that, Julian?
Well, wouldn't be the... Wait, what?
Direct who?
Ingrid was just here. The mare was just here. She took a lock of my... Oh, come on. Look, that's so obvious. She took a piece of hair. How am I gonna... Oh, this is ridiculous.
Sofie, you know I've been trying to get you to go to that salon for the past... I don't even know how... This will just be a perfect opportunity.
This is
We'll deal
not
with
the
it later.
time, Julian.
We'll
Shut
deal with
up
it later.
right this moment. Shut up. Be quiet right now. Stop talking.
You know, that's gratitude for you. I turn over and go back to sleep.
I throw a cucumber at his head.
Where are you getting all these produce?
It's in my violin case of holding.
Just a whole cucumber. He occasionally just slices little slices off of it.
it's for his
You
cucumber
never
water.
know when I'm going to need a nap.
All right, so it is the middle of the night. Are y'all planning on trying to go back to sleep after this? Are you just gonna now all be awake?
I guess if the mayor was here, Lucius is going to stay awake.
I am going to roll to see if Sofie is like a little too freaked out to go back to sleep, or if now that she's annoyed, she kind of isn't really scared about it. Let's see. I'll roll. I'm just gonna do if this is okay, Brian, I'm just gonna do a logic roll and we'll see what happens. Yeah. Why did I get... Oh, because of my mental condition. Yeah. She's fine. She's like, this is so irritating. I'm going back to sleep. And Dr. Jensen, if you could please keep an eye out. I would prefer not to have the breath sucked out of me once again.
Sure thing.
It's a rough time being Lucius Jensen. All right, so it takes a few more hours, but eventually the Virginia does get closer to Olalla, and Captain Nils calls down to you, letting you know. The 3 of you awake down in the hold. Dr. Jensen, Julian, and Thomas. However, something isn't right. There's a 4th person here. There's a stranger in this room who you've never seen before. And there is something wrong with them. You feel deeply uncomfortable. You can't quite put your finger on what it is, but you just do not feel like you can trust this person.
I'll scooch on over a little closer to Thomas, and looking at this 4th person. Are they awake and like active with us, or what is their status?
Just starting to wake up.
Hi.
Listener, you can't see the face Aaron is giving us, but it's great. Thomas looks around. Who is that?
I don't know.
How did you get in here?
Are you Are you part of Captain Nils' crew? Shouldn't you be up on deck?
Aaron, you have no idea why Sofie's friends are talking to you like this.
What do you mean, shouldn't I be on deck? Of sure. I've just been napping here with you. Why would I be on deck?
Well, I mean, I guess if it's not your shift anymore. All right. We're gonna Thomas, let's go up.
My shift? Are you daft? Julian, what's wrong with you?
I'm just going to start climbing up the ladder to get up onto deck.
Thomas is keeping on the other half of the room from you.
Thomas, you should go follow Julian. And you
be careful, Dr. Jensen. Something's not right with this woman.
Madam, who are you?
Can I, okay, obviously, I mean, not to metagame, we're playing Boston, obviously, but, we've been through some shit in the past few days. I was seeing Madam Myrtle, Julian was seeing his dad. I mean,
that was several months ago.
That one was several weeks ago. Yeah, that was a while ago. But still, things have happened, to us in these pursuits. So, I think that while Sofie continues to be even more annoyed at this point, I think that she would have use enough logic and reasoning to be like, something's going on here. And she will try to find a mirror to look in and see if she recognizes anything different about herself, because clearly her friends don't recognize her.
Brian, is there a wooden dowel or pole in the room somewhere?
Yeah, definitely down here. There's all kinds of fishing gear and stuff like that.
Can I just pick up? It doesn't need to be pointed or pole, but can I just pick up and just gently poke the strange woman in the room just to make sure that she's actually
I feel like Aaron is going to get in the angry
Dr.
condition
Jensen?
now.
What? Don't you touch me with I'll just grab it from him and wrap him on the knuckles.
How do you know my name, madam?
Everything okay down there, Doc?
No.
Oh, shit. I start trying to climb my way back down.
So they also clearly don't, it's like they don't remember that Sofie exists either, or they'd be like, who are you and what have you done with Sofie?
That seems to be the case.
Was I able to find a mirror?
You are. You still look like you.
Oh, no.
Bill, Dr. Jensen doesn't feel comfortable being down here with this person. You feel like you might be in a bit of danger at the moment.
Sofie she's taken the pole and she's just pacing and trying to think what could this be? And going through, things that she remembers about things that she's learned and try to figure out what the problem is. And she's not even paying attention to Dr.
And
Lucius
there is
anymore.
a moment of distraction for Sofie as there is a sudden yowling sound. Yortz hisses. His tail fluffs up gigantically, and he rushes away from you.
It's one thing to have your friends turn against you, but your cat, my God.
Oh my
Dr.
God.
Jensen, Yortz is now cowering under one of the benches.
Oh.
It's probably because of this weird woman that's here.
Yeah, but where's Sofie? Her cat gets everywhere. Fun. But Dr. Jensen will kind of straighten himself up. He's clearly, he's trying to look more annoyed, but he's clearly off put. He will go to try and gather the cat. And good day to you, madam. And just look to get out of the.
Did he mention Sophie's name?
Mm-hmm.
Well, if he does that, then I'll go after him and be like, Dr. Jensen, it's me. What are you seeing that I'm not seeing? And Yortz is apparently seeing it too.
This awful woman is chasing after you now.
I'm assuming the cat is now becoming harder to wrangle in.
Oh yeah, the closer Sofie gets to this cat, the more it is no!
The cat was probably not a fan of Dr. Jensen, or not even, at least just not familiar with Dr. Jensen enough. to have him feel awkward to picked up. Now the cat is trying to get like, look, no, ma'am, madam, please, just
If she
stay.
sees Yorts freaking out, she'll like stop and just stay
Mhm.
back.
Yeah, just please, ow, damn cat, just stay over, just stay there until I can get the cat out. Just, and you'll quickly turn to get away.
Climbing a ladder with a cat is an exceptionally challenging prospect.
You
And
bump
one
into
where
Julian halfway down the ladder as well.
Yeah, and with Julian coming down, we have a comedy of errors in place.
As usual.
Yeah, I was going
will
to say.
go back up. Now, you brought up actually an interesting point there, Bill did, as far as recognizing Yorts.
Mm-hmm.
Would I recognize seeing him coming up with Yorts? Do I recognize the cat, and do I recognize it as Sofie's cat?
You do, and those thoughts feel a little bit distant, a little bit fuzzy, kind of like we're trying to remember the name of somebody you haven't seen in 5-10 years.
Okay.
You know there's a name there, but getting it exactly right, like, was it Sarah?
Sylvie?
Was it Sylvie?
Sigrun or Sigrid, maybe?
No, that definitely wasn't it. I'd remember that name.
All right, so the three of you meet up on the deck and get away from this strange woman in the hold. Sofie, your friends suck. They have clearly forgotten about you. It is very disconcerting. If you were angry before, now you're moving back towards hella pissed.
But again, I mean, this literally has happened to me.
Mm-hmm.
And I know it's happened to Julian before a while ago. So, I can infer that there is some Vossen at work. Yeah, Sofie will just go back into, the hold where she was resting and go, start pulling books out of her skirts.
And as you do, there is a cold sensation that is running down your arm.
Shit.
And the three of you up on deck can just hear from the hold, shit, shit, shit. And you can see in the distance the first light of dawn beginning to come down. You sailed throughout the night to get to Olalla. It was the fastest he could go.
Oh my god.
But up ahead, you do see a bonfire on the Olalla docks, designed to help lead ships in. Aaron, what is Sofie gonna do?
Can I find anything in my books as we're, on the last leg of the journey and see, if there's anything I know of that can, like, break this kind of spell thing?
Give me a quick learning test.
All right, Brian, I am going to use your dice.
I deign to grant them successes.
And then I'm going to regret it. Holy shit. That is okay, so one success on however many that was. Seven dice.
All right. You do a little bit of digging and discover that there is a curse that a Vossen can lay upon someone called the Stranger. They can make someone seem as though they are a completely foreign person who needs to be driven away.
Okay.
Something about the player character makes other people dislike her and want to hurt her or drive her away.
God, this feels like middle school again.
It can only be laid upon someone who has had something like a personal possession or something like a lock of hair stolen. It will fade over time, or retrieving the item that was taken will lift the curse.
So, I mean, she is, she can see out the porthole that dawn is not far and that they're getting ready to dock. And so she's just gonna try to avoid everyone, essentially. but like follow along behind at a slight distance, in hopes that she can, that either that it wears off or that she could get her hair back from this hussy who she's been trying to help.
Mm-hmm. All right, so the three of you are up on the deck. This weird stranger is ruffling around through books and occasionally just muttering and cursing from down in the hold, where she should probably remain.
Did she just pull like a bunch of books out of her skirts? That's fucking weird.
Can we put a lock on the hatch there for the hole? Just
You don't see one around.
maybe is there a heavy barrel or something we can move over?
Sofie has already shoved past you and is going to the other side of the boat. Good freaking luck.
So you come bursting out of the hold now?
Some of the books like bang you in the shin and you're like, ow, what the hell?
Okay, I'm not trying to be a dick about this, but I am listening to this curse. If Sofie tries to come barreling past, I am trying to shove her back down.
I thought you wanted to shun her.
Like, if this is somebody that
You want to harm her?
she needs to be driven out. You said that they, like some, I want you to...
Driven out isn't trapped in a cabin.
But it was like, do harm. Like, didn't you say that was part of it or something to that effect?
Something about the player character makes other people dislike her and want to hurt her or drive her away.
Yeah. I'm sorry, Aaron. I'm not trying to be a dick, but yeah.
It's fine.
Lucius will probably help out Julian just to...
But yeah, like as you come up like that, I'm assuming it's coming like up a hatch out of the floor of the... Yeah, like if you try, I'll just be... Yeah, I'll be trying to like either close the hatch on top or literally shove you back down.
You guys are going to pay for this later. I hope you know that.
I mean, I know that.
Brian's blessed dice of me say no.
No. The players.
As long as the GM remains blameless.
Oh, you're not. Just wait.
All right, so is Sofie trying to push her way past, or is she like going back down into the hold?
Well, I mean, if they're being like physically aggressive towards her, like what's she gonna do? In this situation, there are situations, huh?
Take him out with a shotgun.
Oh no, she's not gonna do that. She knows what they're doing. Like she knows why they're doing it. There are situations in which she could use her skirt o' books to, her portable library to muscle her way through to an extent. But in this situation, she like logistically she can't do that. So she's just gonna like scowl at them and then
wait a minute.
She'll just wait.
You're telling me that Sophie's unable to book it?
You know what?
Now she's gonna come down and beat you up and then find my address bill.
I need to go, guys. I need a head start.
The two of you are able to force the stranger back into the hold. Captain Nils looks very confused. We are almost here. Are you ready to disembark?
Yeah.
All right then.
What do you need from us?
Come, right this way. I just need to get us tied off.
All right.
And he hops down after kind of pulling the steamship up against the dock. You can see the warm glow of a fire nearby. And he ties off the boat. And Sofie, that cold feeling that was starting to spread from your shoulder down about halfway down your arm begins to dissipate.
So have you guys locked me in here, or did you just like push me back in the hold and then shut the door?
You weren't able to find any locks up there.
Okay.
You're more, just stuff down back in the hole.
So I'll just wait, as I can feel it receding, I'll just wait, a few minutes and then head up.
Okay. The trio disembarks from the boat, leaving Sofie in the hold, at least for now, and are greeted by the dockmaster here in Olalla. who is a fairly jovial man despite the awful inclement weather, who introduces himself as Carl Nielsen. He has a cloth kerchief wrapped around his face, which unfortunately hides his big happy grin. Ah, welcome, welcome. We don't get too many people out in the fog. Can I help you with something? We don't get many people coming in right now.
Yes, we're looking for the Olalla Sanitarium.
Oh. Oh, no, son. You don't want to go that way.
I'm afraid we do.
Oh. No, no, no. No, you should stay away from that place. It's called Wilderness Heights, but a better name between you and I would be Starvation Heights. The woman who runs it, I think people have died there.
Really? Is she doing something to the patients?
She claims she is a doctor, but I don't know that I believe it. She preaches about the healing powers of fasting, coaxing foolish and wayward souls up into that place to starve themselves to death, in the hope of making themselves physically or mentally better. No, you would do much better off to stay here in town.
Could you, well, I'm afraid we must go and try and see if we can, we're in search of someone that might be there. Can you at least give us directions to how to get there? I understand that.
I can do that, but you will be careful up there, all right?
I do give Dr. Lucius a quick tap on the shoulder and just whisper, healing power of starvation. That's not a thing, right?
No, not generally. It's more used in philosophical terms in the books I've read, but no, the body needs sustenance. You need to eat to heal.
I mean, I have heard before that life needs things to live, so that does make sense. Thank you.
Carl can give you some directions, though, and it's a little ways off from here. Downtown Olalla is kind of clustered around the waterfront, but this place is going to be further on up the road, out into the woods. Wilderness Heights is set back into the forest, and it is located on almost 40 acres of woods, with only a winding path leading back to Olalla.
Having heard about this, so Starvation Heights, healing power of fasting, is it possible on the way, would we cross any sort of like just a basic provision store or somewhere that I can try to pick up?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think I'd like to stop in and see if I can pick up just some,
Just some
easily
food.
transportable food if we encounter her and she is in fact starving.
Make a manipulation test.
Okay. That will be 9 dice. I do have one condition, but I also have the performer, which allows performer talent, which allows me to ignore it for manipulation tests. Just one success this time on 9 dice.
That'll be enough to pick up some simple provisions.
Okay.
All right, the two of you and Thomas make your way down to the waterfront, and you kind of talk to some of the fishermen. You pick up some food, and as you're kind of chatting, you'll be like, "Oh, I bet Sofie would like some." Sofie, where is Sofie? Why did we lock Sofie in the ship hold?
I'm like Home Alone, but it's like Boat Alone instead.
Kevin!
Oh, so we actually remember like
Mhm.
shoving her back down.
Yep.
It like wore off now.
Oh,
Yeah.
I just looked to
that later.
Lucius. Yeah.
You guys.
Oh, did you was that a dream or did we Oh no.
Brian, would you describe this kind of like as a, like we're just sitting there and then we just kind of remember, or is it like a we get reminded of like, oh, I wonder where Sofie is, and then everything just clicks that we did all that to Sofie.
The latter case. So basically, just sort of like a stray thought crosses your mind of like, I wonder what Sofie thinks about some of the food that we're picking up. And it's like, wait a minute, hang on, where is Sofie? Oh no, what did I do? I'm in trouble.
Yes, you shoved your favorite wine aunt down in the hold and tried to lock the door. You did do that.
I mean, at least I didn't poke her with a pole, but
That's true. You did not poke me with a pole. That's true.
I wasn't sure if she was a hallucination or not.
Dr. Jensen, you look down at your arms where you're holding Yorts and you're like, how did I get here?
How?
okay.
Where did Cat?
Yorts didn't even. I don't. Let's go back. But I mean, Yorts didn't recognize her either. So I mean, she can't be that mad at us if Yorts didn't recognize her, right? It's gonna be fine.
I just give that like dead stare back at Julian. She won't care even if Yorts didn't recognize her. Are you sure about that? And I'll take 2 steps and I'll stop and I'll turn back to Julian. You gave her your shotgun, didn't you?
It seemed like a good idea at the time.
Thomas looks back and forth between the two of you and at the cat. What's going on?
Stay behind something sturdy, Thomas.
He immediately gets behind Julian.
Okay.
I'm flattered, honey. Really, poor choice. But I will start making my way back. If Dr. Lucius allows me, I will hold on to Yorts for him as well.
Please.
Okay.
You just want Yorts to be the shield because you know.
100%.
If anyone is getting out of this encounter alive, it's Yorts.
Oh, for sure. So Sofie by this time has so she noticed the arm thing was fading, and so she will make her way up top, and she will. I don't know that she knows Dr. Lucius well enough, but she definitely knows Julian well enough that she kind of imagines how he might react. Maybe not exactly, but like she kind of has an idea. And so, but she's just gonna stand on the dock with the shotgun out, and she's just like, what? She's not pointing it. She just has it in her hand.
No, this is the equivalent of going over to meet your girlfriend's dad for the first time and the shotgun's being cleaned on the table as you walk in the house.
Right. Yeah, exactly. She just has it by her side. It's just casual. You don't need to worry about it, maybe.
So if we're walking up and Lucius sees the Sofie with her shotgun, Lucius will stop and look at Julian. You're the one that fixed her yesterday. You go talk to her.
Aren't you like a trained professional or something?
If she breaks an arm, I will help. This is not my wheelhouse.
Well, good, because that may be in the cards.
Thomas looks back and forth between the two of you. Shouldn't we be getting up to the sanitarium?
Yeah, just a minute. Go hide behind that thing. Oh, I'm going to go ahead and as we get to within sight, and yeah, we're seeing Sofie up there. I'm going to take a deep breath and put on my most confident airs and kind of walk confidently straight up towards the boat. And I will hold Yorts out like with 2 hands, like straight out from my.
Right.
Good news, Sofie! We got Yorts. He ran. It was weird. He was scared of you. It was super weird.
He was
here
scared
he
of
is.
me.
We were trying to take. I figured Yortz, as you know, is an incredible judge of character. And we clearly knew that there must have been something. I'm so glad that you, with your wits and mind like a steel, I knew you would snap out of it eventually. I just wanted to get the others away. But we brought back Yortz. He's safe. And look, and I just shove Yortz into her arms. He's so happy to see you, as am I. And I go in for a hug.
Sofie just walks by with Yortz, just
over one shoulder,
right past him, and just keeps going.
Julian's face does fall a little bit behind you. You don't see it happen, but then he will turn as you are walking away, look for Dr. Lucius, and just gives a half-hearted thumbs up.
I'm not quite dead yet.
Yet.
That went well.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it wasn't too bad. Yeah, I don't think she's really going to be speaking to them for a little while.
For a little bit.
Logically, maybe if she didn't already have the angry condition, she might have been like, no, it's okay. I'm annoyed, but I get it because I know what happened. But no, she's just like, fuck you guys.
Out of character. Hey, you're the one who got cursed, not me.
It is an awkward walk up to the Wilderness Heights Sanitarium with Sofie a separate party from the rest of you, despite walking in close proximity. Yortz is just purring, happy as could be, not a thought in his little head.
As it should be.
See, good judge of character, like I said. Okay, never mind. Let's keep walking. Yep.
You begin to draw closer to Wilderness Heights. It is a fairly large building with 3 floors. The first floor has a very large front-facing porch and a flat roof. The second and third floor have windows that all face outwards. It's morning at this point, despite your best efforts. You see there are a few people moving around on the ground floor and up on the second and third floors. The windows are all shut, the doors are shut, but you see signs that there are definitely people inside. Thomas kind of turns and he looks at you 3. Okay, so, what's our plan?
Yeah. The plan. We totally have 3 of those. We're very prepared. So, Sofie, Doc, remind me, what was plan A?
Well, I think we need to find your fiance, and then from there we'll have to figure out what we're going to do about her.
Thomas looks back and forth between the 3 of you. I've got an idea if we need one.
Oh, well, speak up.
Well, it's a sanitarium, right? So, I bet we could just sneak in and apply to be patients there and then just sneak back out once we've got Anne.
What does... Not that I'm seriously considering this, but just what does security look like in this place? I mean, not necessarily I'm expecting to see armed guards, but what does it look like?
You kind of stay and watch for a little bit. You're not really sure. It looks just like a very large house. You definitely don't see armed guards on patrol or anything like that. But you can't be exactly sure what's going on inside.
Fence, gate, anything like that?
Nope.
How high proof is this bottle of liquor I got from Shanghu?
It's a pretty strong one.
Noted. I'm just thinking about possible distractions later, guys. Don't worry about it. It's nothing to worry about.
Maybe not get us committed. I fear we might no longer be in full control of our decisions if we get ourselves committed to this place. Can't we just say we're visiting family? We have the arguably the husband of the...
I could say I was the younger sister of the aunt that died before she came here, and I've come to check on her after my sister's death or something.
So the four of you are kind of lurking in the woods. You are far enough back, and with the fog, you're pretty sure no one in the sanitarium is able to actually see you. You could try and go in and pose as a relative and see if you could successfully meet with Anne that way.
So I had this thought, guys, and maybe I'm making things way too complicated, but I kind of love this plan. Why don't you go on in and just see if they'll let you in? I'll wait out here, and if it doesn't go well, I can come in later, like just a little bit later, and say, "Oh, thank God you found them. I've been meaning to check them in," and then we can go with Thomas's plan.
Well, the only thing is, Dr. Jensen is a doctor. So it seems that he ought to be the one.
I mean, I've played doctor many times.
God damn it, Phoenix.
Julian says, completely stone-faced.
I don't think you'll, if you're welcome to try. How about that?
You can certainly try.
It was just one idea.
That's a fine idea, Julian, but I'm not going to do that because I can't trust you guys right now. So I don't know that I wouldn't end up actually locked in the sanatorium. Or perhaps I might do someone some violence and then perhaps legitimately get locked in the sanatorium. So let's maybe, you guys can do that plan if you would like, or we could think of something else.
I just side-eye Yorts.
Yorts doesn't know the meaning of side-eye. Like, Yorts is either... He has one brain cell. Earlier, he used his brain cell to run away because Sofie seemed weird. His brain cell utilization is maxed out for today. There's nothing left. But Sofie sees that Thomas is looking really bewildered, and she'll just sort of pat him on the hand. And so, whatever you guys would like to do is fine. But I will definitely not be subjecting myself to possibly getting locked in a sanitarium. Sanatorium, potato,
Right,
potato,
it's fine.
whatever the fuck, no one cares.
Yeah, okay. So we've got her aunt, we've got her doctor, and her betrothed. We'll go with that?
I think that'll work great.
Let's just go with that.
That seems fine, yeah.
And me. I'm here for emotional support.
Sofie, could you please lower the shotgun? It's just when you keep aiming it at us,
It's not up. It's almost vertical, pointing at the ground, Dr. Jensen. I don't...
Well, you might want to put that away before we do enter the hospital. They probably have...
All right, I suppose.
Just put it in one of those book pockets.
Oh, no, Julian. All my book pockets are taken up with books. There's a shotgun pocket now.
Julian raises a finger and opens his mouth, and then slowly lowers the finger and shuts his mouth.
Like Dr. Jed's just like...
Thomas just nods and is like, sensible.
Thank you, Thomas.
Anyways. All right. The four of you are going to head in and pose as Anne's doctor and former aunt. Is that correct?
Current aunt. Not just former.
Her current aunt and her
former doctor, current aunt.
Previous doctor. Yeah.
Family. It's the family doctor.
Yeah.
Yeah. Understood.
Who am I?
Julian.
You know what? We're just going to go with that. Hi, I'm Julian.
And who's that? Julian.
Don't you know Julian?
Ta-da! Here I am.
Oh, okay.
By the way, listeners, I realize Julian has become increasingly more and more flamboyant throughout this. You know what? I'm just going to lean into it. I didn't know that's where this was going to go. That's where this is going to go.
Fantastic.
We're just going to go for it.
Just let Julian be Julian.
Julian is just, yes, becoming more and more comfortable being
Ident-
himself. I think it's
Identity
wonderful.
is an evolution. It's fine.
Exactly.
All right, so the four of you head up to the front door. It is unlocked. And in the old roll 20, I'm going to move us onto a new map.
Why would we need roll 20?
Don't worry about it. No reason.
That's what he said about the boat trip.
Oh, I don't like the squares. Squares are
Just
bad.
because there's a whole bunch of kitchen knives and sharp implements, it's fine.
And there's stuff in there, which means that's going to mean things. I'm scared.
Don't worry about it.
Can find a knife on the counters.
Oh my God.
You head into the vestibule.
Why is there a guy with a grappling hook?
We'll cover all of these and more as they become relevant. You are greeted by a very stern-looking, thick-necked orderly. Can I help you?
Yes, we're here hoping to see a family member of our party under the name of Anna. Oh shoot,
You're really helping your case.
Anna, Eric's daughter. Sorry, I had the name and then it went out right out of my head as soon as I was starting to talk.
The orderly kind of looks at you. If you want to talk to patients, you'll need to speak to Dr. Hazard first.
I'm Dr. Hazard, you said?
Yeah, Dr. Linda Hazard. This is her sanitarium.
Ah. Well then, can you direct us to where the good doctor is?
Of course, come right this way. And he leads you through a hallway, through a dining room, and then on towards a library. Wait here just a moment, and I'll go let Dr. Hazard know you're here. Can I let her know what you're looking to talk to Miss Eric's daughter about?
Well,
Well, her aunt has come to visit her, for one thing. And we've brought the family doctor. I think a family member should be allowed to see a patient without this much fuss.
I'll let Dr. Hazard know. And he heads back out through the dining room, and the four of you are left alone in the library.
what kind of books are in the library?
I am ever so glad that you asked. Would you like to make an investigation test?
I'd like to, but
And Bill, you can also take a +2 bonus on this investigation test, given your medical background.
Okay. Well, so rolling a total of 6 dice, I got 0 successes, and I'm not willing to break my character
Excellent.
just to force.
Would anyone else like to roll investigation in this room?
I agree with that decision, Bill, and yet there's part of me that wants to know how you would get broken in the library here.
Why can't
I could tell you.
So, Dr. Jensen, sorry, what'd you get?
Sofie got 2 successes on 8 dice.
Nice. So, Dr. Jensen, you are trying to focus on some of the books here, but it's been a day. You are just feeling exhausted, and keeping track of these books, like, the titles are spinning. Thankfully, someone who is very good at books is here. Sofie is kind of like over Dr. Jensen's shoulder being like, oh, that's interesting.
Oh, look, they have a copy of such and such.
You look over some of these books and find something a little bit surprising. There's obviously a lot of medical textbooks here. Most of them are ones that are super out of date. Like, things that you are pretty sure have been definitively disproven. There are also a lot of pre-ice pick lobotomies. Ice pick lobotomies would be cutting edge. These are what they were doing before that. So you're finding a lot of disproven, like, we're talking before phrenology books. So we're talking about things like balancing humors.
Mm-hmm.
We're talking about the scientific study of miasma.
Mm-hmm. Miasma. Sorry.
Miasma. Getting a sense of what's in here. These paint a picture of someone who is dangerously ill-equipped to perform medicine.
I'm starting to think that perhaps we should not only get Anna out of here, but also literally everyone else. This does not bode well.
What makes you say that?
Well, this one was written in 1673. Doctor, as you, I'm sure, are well aware, many things, there are many advances in medicine every year, much less every decade, much less every century. These books are disgustingly outdated.
After a moment, the orderly pops back into the library. Dr. Hazard will see you in her office now. Please, right this way.
For the first time since we got off, or since we've been on the boat, Sofie will actually look at Julian and look around, as in, maybe you could take a hike and check things out or something. Like, I don't know if he could slip away, but maybe that's the thing that he could do. I don't know.
Julian is putting the book back down, and looks at Sofie, sees her looking furtively around the room, and like nudging with like using her chin to point at doors, and he just kind of puts a hand to his chest
Moi?
and looks at this big thick-necked orderly, looks back at Sofie, and just like, oh hell no. he does not say, but the expression is there of, yeah, I am not the one for the stealth mission.
Sofie will just roll her eyes and just walk out after that.
So as the orderly's like leading us, Lucius will ask, how long has Dr. Hazard been leading this sanitarium?
Oh, a couple years now.
Has she had much success with patients?
Oh, yeah, definitely. Definitely.
What do you term success, my good sir, if I might ask?
Well, she says they're doing good.
She says they're doing good. Huh.
How does she treat you?
Oh, we're paid very well.
I bet you are.
And you are led through an orderly station into the kitchen, and then from there into Dr. Hazard's office. She is seated behind her desk. She is a short woman. Her hair done up in a bun. She's dressed in a very neat coat. And she kind of smiles as she sees the pair of you. Or pardon me, as she sees the four of you coming in. Oh, good morning. How can I help you?
Dr. Hazard, is it? My name is Sofie Ingrid's daughter. I am Anna's aunt, and I would love to check in on her and see how she's doing after the death of my sister, Joanna. It's been quite a blow to the family, and I was surprised to find that she was here. So I've brought the family doctor so that we could perhaps just check in on her and see how she's doing.
She nods and gives you a very professional smile. Can I get an observation test from the three of you?
Oh boy.
Hey, Sofie got 2 successes on 6 dice.
I know that's your strong suit, Bill.
Especially with my 3 conditions.
Bill, you technically get 1 die, even if Roll20 says you get 0. Fucking savage, though. Feel free to just roll one physical die, Bill.
Julian also got 2 successes on 6 dice.
And Bill, what'd you get on your one die?
On my one pity die, got 0 successes.
All right, so this is kind of an interesting scenario. Thomas is sort of nodding along as Sofie is talking, trying to kind of like back her up. And Sofie and Julian look into this woman's eyes. And you both realize at the exact same moment that behind that professional smile, this woman is a monster.
Mm-hmm.
She does not have a shred of empathy in her entire corpus. And she will kill every single person here as it suits her needs.
Man, I thought my bedside manner sucked.
This information, for some reason, just doesn't click with Dr. Jensen.
That's what I love about you, Doctor. You're always inclined to see the best in people.
Who said that?
Said what? To be clear, Phoenix said that.
I know.
Julian did not.
Aw.
Dr. Hazard looks between the four of you. Oh, I'm ever so sorry. We do have a patient named Anne here, but she's making great strides in her treatment, and well, right now we wouldn't want to interrupt that by introducing an outside element.
And what treatment is it that is helping her so much?
We're curing her body of impurities and removing toxins through the power of fasting.
Can I ask real quick, Brian? As far as, I mean, obviously we've heard about the fasting before. Julian is, of course, no medical professional. He's heard from Dr. Jensen. This is kind of.
He's heard from Dr. Jensen. People need food.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, would there be any sort of? Is there a prevailing thought at this time of history? Like, is this just like this is
Make a learning test for me.
Oh boy, that's a Sofie thing. I have people to do that for me.
Well, you
let's
asked
see,
the question.
That's a logic skill, so I get 3 dice minus 1, so 2 dice. Yeah, no. That is 0 successes on those 2 dice.
Julian's never heard of it before. Do you want to push that roll?
No.
Yeah, it's nothing that's ever come across your radar. Maybe people do that.
Dr. Jensen will speak up. I'm sorry. You are claiming to rid her, presumably her body of what you said toxins. What specifically are you? What specific toxin?
Oh, well, there are a great many toxins that can be found in the blood. These can all be traced back to impaired digestion.
Amongst other things. But how are you sure that this is her aunt just died, who she was very close with? How can you say that she needs to remove toxins? The girl is grieving.
I'm sure that compounded the efforts that were happening within her digestion. I mean, as a medical doctor, surely you know about this.
Is there something I can roll, I guess, to check history? Because I feel like it's honestly just hokum.
I mean, you can also make a learning test on this one if you want.
Yeah, I'll give it a shot.
I mean, but doesn't he just know that that's dumb?
I rolled 3 dice and got 0 successes.
It's nothing you've heard about in your medical study, which means it's probably not a thing.
Sorry, I have one more question that I could hopefully get without that success on the learning test.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a medical board, like essentially the AMA or something? Like, do I have any idea of that? No,
not at this time.
Okay.
Wild West, baby.
You got ghosts in your blood. Do cocaine about it.
See, Aaron knows how medicine works. And then you cut off a leg.
So Sofie really doesn't like this woman, especially because she sees in her almost something that echoes Madame Myrtle. Like, here are these people, and I'm gonna exploit them, and I don't give a shit about them as human beings. They're just there for my usage, and that's all they're important for. So Sofie is looking for a way to, honestly, I won't go so far as to say, like, Aaron is looking for a way to do this woman violence. Sofie, perhaps not. But she's looking for a way to, like, neutralize her.
Mm-hmm.
There's a shotgun in your pocket.
There is. Again, Aaron, very aware of the shotgun in Sofie's pocket. I'm pretty sure that Sofie would not, especially with
pluck
no
a person,
vodka involved, be like, I am gonna fucking shoot this
Fuck
bitch.
this! Bam bam! I got you learning right here with both barrels.
Yeah, I guess I'm assuming Lucius would be able to pick up on Sofie being more uncomfortable and annoyed at the lady.
Than him, certainly. So he knows something's up.
Well, and even then, Dr. Jensen, like, I might need you to explain your theory a little bit more. It seems counterproductive to me to starve someone to try and rid them of toxins in the blood.
Oh, no. That's where you're mistaken, sir. We're not starving people. We're fasting.
Starving.
You seem to be struggling with the difference.
How often do people... You know what? Never mind. Can we please see Anna?
And she gives that professional smile again.
We would like to see Anna, just to visit and make sure that she's doing well. As you say her recovery is her progress, she's making progress here. We would just like to double check and make sure that she is doing well and is staying safe here.
Bill, give me a manipulation roll.
Oh boy. Doesn't he get stuff because we're in here with him?
He could get a +1 bonus from each of you if you are trying to help.
Of course I'm trying to help, and I'm trying very hard not to be intimidating because that's not where we're at yet.
Is this one of those situations where twerking helps?
Hang on.
It is not.
Okay.
So, Brian, even if I had both people helping me, I would still only be rolling one die.
Fantastic.
Because
Bill.
I am this far from being broken mentally.
You got this.
Roll your one die.
It's been a stressful few days. So
if you don't, Julian is going full ham on this, so you got this.
All right, roll your die, Bill.
Here we go.
You got like a... Oh.
What'd you get?
Well, dear listener, if you can't already tell by Phoenix's laughter and Aaron's I did not succeed on that one die.
In fact, what did you roll, Bill?
The only one I could have rolled.
So on your 1d6, you got a 1.
Is the orderly in here with us, by the way?
Out in the kitchen.
Oh, out in the kitchen, you say? Okay, please continue.
She looks at you for a moment. Sorry, you mentioned you were the family doctor. What was your name again?
Dr. Lucius Jensen.
Of course. That name sounds familiar.
Oh, shit.
Damn it, Jensen, I was trying to tell you, this woman knows what she's doing. we've been discussing this on end. This woman is clearly the only doctor, and I arch an eyebrow pointedly at Dr. Jensen, the only doctor who has any sense in this room. And I turn to her and extend a hand. Dr. Carl Young from the Seattle Post-Intelligencer.
No!
It's short for Carlos. It's fine.
Christ.
Hey, you guys had your opportunities with the role. Julian's doing the only thing he knows how to do.
You know what? My next track was the shotgun, so please feel free.
No, Lucius just stands there. If it wasn't beneath him, he'd be sitting there, mouth agape right now. But he knows better.
I've been speaking with this so-called man of medicine, and it's clear he doesn't know a thing of what he's talking about. I have been researching your techniques and hearing about some of the pioneering breakthroughs you've had. I was just hoping that we could maybe talk it over a little bit further.
I think we certainly can. Dr. Young, was it?
Yes, with a J.
Dr. Young.
Oh. I'm gonna shoot her right now.
All reasonable. I think that we can accommodate your request. I mean, it's a bit unusual, and I don't want to backslide Anne's progress, but...
Clearly not.
Come right this way. Here, let's step out for a moment.
Can I make the equivalent of an insight check? Because this feels real sketchy to him.
Yep. Make your observation
Sofie
check.
has her hand. There is a hole. You know how, like, in cloaks, there's, like, a hole so you could go through the cloak and into, like, your actual pocket? She has
like
that
a slide-through pocket?
for books and for shotgun. So she has her hand on the shotgun.
Mm-hmm.
Just one success on 7 dice.
Okay. Give me 1 second. No reason. Nothing immediately jumps out at you. Plus, from what you've seen, this woman doesn't seem that intimidating.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah,
You're
probably okay.
She's psychopath, maybe a sociopath, but not
Mm-hmm.
not dangerous. It's fine.
We'll meet Anne upstairs in the day room. Please, right this way.
You're taking me to her. Oh, even better.
All of you. You all wanted to speak to Anne, right?
Yes, of course.
Right this way.
Well, I just thought we were bringing the professionals, but I suppose you can tag along.
And Thomas is just like looking back and forth like, they're doing so good. The plan's working great.
They did all of this on purpose. Wow, these guys are so awesome.
He 100% believes that. The 4 of you are heading up the stairs to the 2nd floor. And Dr. Hazard lags behind for just a moment and whispers in a very quiet voice to that thick-necked orderly, "Please go get Sam for me. We have a problem." And that's where we're going to call it.
Uh-oh.
As the 4 of you are slowly walking upstairs. Thank you for listening to this episode of Spirits and Monsters of Old Seattle. Our theme song is Myths and Legends by Robert Bruckmeyer, which is playing right now. Our music is by Andreas Lundström, and you can hear more of his work on the Sweden Rolls podcast. Link in the show notes. Our editor is Hannah Cheney. If you're enjoying this show, please take 2 minutes to rate and leave a review on iTunes, Spotify, or wherever you get podcasts. I know every podcast says it, but it really does make a difference and helps us continue to grow the show. Finally, remember the motto of the library. Fear gives way to knowledge. Knowledge gives way to wisdom. And wisdom gives way to the truth. Until next time.